Hello, family. Welcome to Victory TV at the end of the day. Well, today is Tuesday, April the 2nd. And it's a beautiful day out here today. At the end of the day, I have done some work this morning with Ezel's production out in the community looking for other works to do in different communities as I continue to grow and walk in the grace of the Almighty God, the great I am. And it is such a lovely day out here today. It's feeling really nice. And just thought I'd come out here and see what kind of nuggets that I might be able to share with you today in just what does God have prepared for me to speak on today that might benefit you. Maybe it might even benefit myself. Let's get a little straighten up here on this video here. Okay. Move in a little closer. Okay, well, where am I today? Got up early this morning, got on the road, maybe about 10 o'clock, going to Union Springs, Alabama. I'm sure you've heard me talk about Union Springs before, actually in reference to John Henry Clark. John Henry Clark, a man of great prominence who has left us a path to walk in, left us with a lot of encouragement, left me with a lot of encouragement because I saw that with my life as it lines up with his legacy that he's left behind us, gave me a lot of passion to want to do something for our people, specifically African American people, because he often spoke of all of the contributions that Africa had made here in the United States and in the world that we're not knowledgeable of. And I believe that with spreading this knowledge and getting it into our people to understand who we are, whose we are, and where we've come from, will give us great pride and give us a desire to want to do more for our people, more for ourselves, and more for our community. So this is a great day today. Going there to Union Springs, had a chance to talk and find out some things about the Black Belt and the Black Belt grants that are out there to help us to be able to do the things that God has designed us to do. And myself, I'm reading a book that talks about leadership and being a leader. And the book has inspired me to want to do even more. You know, we all go through challenges in life. And sometimes it can make us get off track with the things that we feel that maybe God has called us to do. We think that we're on the right path, but there are some things that can happen in your life that can really kind of shake you and make you wonder, okay, are you on the right path? Today, just going there and thinking about some of the other things that I have in the works of wanting to pursue, just being busy about doing it. Sometimes I find myself in a place to where I don't know exactly what to do. I just know that I need to keep busy. And sometimes there comes a point in your life where you have to just be still and listen to see what God is saying, what he's doing. And lately, because of some personal issues that I've had to take care of business-wise, I'm beginning to see the light at the other end of the tunnel, which gives me encouragement as in to whether I'm on the right path and whether I can do some things that will help us as a people, help myself, even as we go into different phases of our lives. Right now, I'm at a different point in my life, um, a different chapter, and so I have to figure out, okay, God, what is it that you'd have me to be about or to do that is an important part of the puzzle for life, and for the next generation. So now, every once in a while, God gives me that deja vu moment, maybe, that says, I've been here before, and says, you're on the right track. So I'm feeling kind of good today, and I think that's the reason why I came out to speak to you today about maybe about knowing that you're on the right track. And I had to go back and re-examine. I had read through some books about leadership and what have you, and I found myself going back to review to see if I'm on the right track. Did I forget anything that I've read? And usually we do forget things. We forget a large percentage of the things that we read sometimes, but there should be some nuggets that you should always pay attention to in your life, so that you can sometimes look back and see, where you came from and where you are, and get some clue about where you're going. Because I do want to have the mindset of that I'm not all over the place, even though sometimes it seems like you're all over the place, especially when God acknowledges to you that He's invested a lot in you. I have a lot of gifts, a lot of talents, a lot of interests, and sometimes it can feel like a curse, because you don't know which direction to go in. Have you ever felt like that? I don't know, whether you felt that way, but I felt like some people always from the beginning know what they are going to do from the beginning of life. And I have this one friend, a classmate, that he's always known what he wanted to do. He's a dentist today, and he's always known what he wanted to do. And today he's that dentist and has done well in his profession, in his career. I was the type of child that didn't really know. I knew I had a lot of gifts, a lot of talent in different areas, a lot of interests, and it was kind of hard to decide, okay, well, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do? And that was hard for me, and it still is. And I finally just figured, that was this script in the Bible that talks about the talents. And I kind of got some indication of what I wanted to do with my life by looking at those looking at the stories of the talents that God had given to these different servants or different men or whatever. And He gave some, hypothetically, I'm just going to throw out some numbers. He gave some one talent. I mean, maybe 5 or 6 talents, then 8 talents, then maybe 10 talents, and then He gave this one man 1 talent, and the one that had the several talents, they came back. Let's say if they were given 5, they had multiplied that to 10, or if it was someone who was given 10, they had gotten 15. In other words, they took what was given to them and they gained more with that. But there was this one slothful servant, I think he called him, and he said, he had given him, he said, you gave me only 1 talent. So he was afraid, and he took it and he hid it. And when God came back, or when the king came back, or whoever this great man was, when he came back to see what they had done with the talent that he had given them, he had invested in them. He said because he was afraid, and he had hid it. And let's say it was a nickel. He said he gave him a nickel. And so when God comes back, he said, well, what have you done with the nickel I've given to you? Here it is. He gave him the nickel back. After maybe 10 to 20 years, let's just say, for instance, he gave him this nickel back. Well, he said, well, you slothful, no good nigga. Creature. You no good, slothful man. Okay, and because you could have at least put my money in the bank and got some interest, but no, you went and hid it and did nothing with it because you were afraid. And so he cursed him. He's probably sent him to hell or something like that, sent him into an everlasting damnation or something. Why? Because he was a slothful servant, because he was afraid, and he did nothing with the gifts that God had invested in him. I look at it this way: God has invested a lot in me. Sometimes I feel guilty. I feel guilty because I know that He's given me a lot of blessings that others may not have had. And He's expecting me to bring back more than what turned that amount that He's given into me. Maybe if I can double it, or I need to get something coming back in order to, coming back from that which He has invested in me. So I'm always critical about being busy, about trying to always accomplish and to do better, to strive for excellence in everything. Because I don't want to be seen as a slothful person, as a person who has taken those things for granted that God has given me, such as the ability to, I love singing. I know I'm not a great singer, but I try to improve on it. I'm a lot better than I would have been if I had just let it sit there. Or to be a musician, to play the piano. I play the piano. I can, as a dancer, a performer, I'm a hard worker. I like building things. I like making things. And I've done some things with that gift that God has given me. The ability to speak. And that was a time that I was very shy. I'm kind of shy now, but I get the job done. I put forth and I get it done. The ability to speak, the ability to write. I used to couldn't write a lick coming up, and I had a little dyslexia, which I still do deal with it sometimes, and it shows up in different ways and what have you. But I get the job done. Some people will probably never know that I, had these problems. I see them and I deal with them all the time, and I see the growth that I've been able to accomplish in my life. In facing these things. And I've taught, and as I teach, if the world gives you a lemon, make lemonade, baby. I think that's the reason why that means a lot to me too. God has invested in us. And because we are fearful, and because for whatever reason, you have not been able to use what He has invested in us and to make it bring back productivity or to increase the amount that He has given us. If we have not done that, when God comes back at the end of your life, if you have nothing that you can say that you have done with the gifts that He has given you. Some people say, I don't have any gifts. Oh, yes, the hell you do. You got 2 legs, 2 arms. There are some people don't have these things. And there are some people who don't have these things that can do more than you have done with the fact that you have your health. So in even helping and encouraging people, you know how to speak. Some of you can tell jokes and whatever. You make people laugh. Have you used that to bring, to be able to do more with that? If you can turn that over to where it can help you live, help you create an income. So some people are comedians, naturally musicians, naturally artists, naturally learn how to deal with figures and numbers and what have you. Can you run a business well? Can you do all these things? Are gifts that God gives us, and you have to find out the ones that that you're really good at. Okay, so with me, I think I'm a great teacher. I think I love motivating students, motivating people to move into their areas, into their gifts in life. Today, so I was passing out some of my materials that talks about the things that I do, such as the Ezel's Performing Arts camps that I do throughout the area. As soon as I passed out the flyer to someone says, "Oh, are you a motivational speaker?" I said, "Yes. Yes, I am." No, she asked, Do you come and speak at different places?" And before I knew it, it came out of my mouth and I said, "Yes." I never seen myself really as a speaker. But you know what? It was almost like, because I had been asking, this book was asking me earlier, what are your gifts? What are your strengths? And that was written, I had written it down. So when this lady asked me this today, I immediately responded, and I thought, what the hell did I just say? What did I just do? I had written it, but I had never professed it to be. And after I spoke it, something said, you better not draw it back. You better not pull it back. And I didn't. And so now it's like this motivational speaker. I guess that's who I am. And I guess I'm just going to watch and see what happens. You know, I'm not going to push it. Because I want to believe that if it's for me, I will have it. I will do it. I love motivating people. I especially love motivating students in the next generation and youngsters, youth. I think that's what my gift might be. I don't know. That's another gift. It has to be another one of those talents that God gives us. And so I'm saying to you, at the end of this day, you need to stop and think about the things that God has invested in you. God has given us all gifts and talents and things that we need to be paying attention to. Because at the end of this life, when you have to give up the ghost, that little dash that's going to be on your grave site that says you were born here and you're going to die here, all of your life is within this little dash. And you need to stop and think about the things that God has invested in you. Have you created? Has his investment been improved upon? Have you gained more? Did you turn that nickel into $100 maybe? 1,000, or maybe a millionaire, or whatever the case may be. You get my point. God has invested in us, and we need to stop and take inventory on the things that you have in your possession right now that can be used to further positivity, to further life, the key of life. At the end of this day, you need to stop and think. What have you been given? What has been invested into your life that you need to be responsible for? And at the end of your days, hopefully your dash will be has been significantly increased. So at the end of this day, I'm going to grant you peace.